Can you understand a word they're saying?
I can't understand a word you're saying right now, jackass.
Okay, well,
Get us into the game.
Let's get into the game. It is EG versus Felt. Felt have yet to win a singular game the entire DPC.
I got trivia for you.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with what bullshit you just said.
Okay.
If you do pure damage to Bristleback while he's facing away, does that go through his Bristleback passive?
So basically, does damage reduction work on pure damage?
Correct.
I would say pure damage works.
Incorrect. It does not go through Bristleback.
Right.
However, HP removal does go entirely through, which is why Necrophos, Heartstopper Aura is such a powerful ability against the Bristle. You cannot face any direction to avoid that damage. It is the one source of damage that goes through any damage reduction in the game.
Very good.
Yeah. So we got the...
Very good.
That's why they picked the Necro last pick. And then you Scythe, and you can also just walk right in front of him, because the Scythe is a pretty long duration. Bristle...
Okay, I have a trivia for you.
Okay.
What was Necro's old skill called? That gave you the regen for killing creeps.
Oh, boy.
I'll give you a clue if you want.
Okay, give me a clue.
You are like this. I would describe you as this type of a person.
Festered.
No.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sadist.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I don't worship Satan, so that's
back
not
to
right.
what the game is about. Felt pretty much destined, unless there's some miracles that are going to happen, destined for Div 2.
Well, the cut can make anything happen, let me tell you.
Yep. I mean, that bottom 2 is going to be a little bit interesting. Maybe we're going to see some tiebreakers. But the more interesting story is EG and the fact that they are tied with Nouns. I believe both are 4-1 currently.
Yep.
Where Quincy Crew is undefeated.
Yes.
So EG still going for that top 2 slot. And if they just win out, they will get it. Because TSM's already lost 2 games. So we'll see EG at the major in that case. So I don't think they're going to take this lightly. Like we've seen, you know, many NA DPCs in the past where teams like EG just have a monumental lead and they can kind of screw around a bit.
That's where the shellacking tier list came from.
That's right.
Is because of the NA DPC, the disparity between the teams.
The interesting thing about the shellacking tier list, does it change from region to region or is it a global scale?
Oh, it's global, Suns fan. It's global.
Great.
It's taking the world by storm.
Yeah, people are really excited about that as Zor taking a lot of damage. And it looks like he's going to end up dropping here to another right click, and Fly's going to take that first blood for himself. So good start from EG.
Dazzle feels like one of the strongest laners in Dota currently. It's very difficult to do lane shenanigans versus Dazzle, because he just runs after you, hits you a few times, all of a sudden that slow is up to like, I don't know, 20, 30%. It feels real bad.
Toss back into the tower, shoot. Takes a couple pop shots from the tower.
Yeah, Dawnbreaker has very good base stats, so still fine. Please nerf.
Crit does have boots, though, and a toss is coming up in another second, but no targets in range. Oh, maybe now. Ooh, that was close.
He's trying for it. Yeah, that toss range a little bit short in the early levels.
Yeah, but EG with that 4-1 record, I mean, I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Nouns going into the late season, because I believe they have yet to play, I want to say TSM, but not 100% sure on that. And I believe EG has not played Quincy Crew, right? So that's also a very big, but that one might not even matter, which is the crazy thing. Like, that might just be for a 6-1 tie, but they both still go to the major.
Yeah. Yep.
So kind of dependent on some of the results to come, but only time will tell. Of course, we're used to many tiebreakers in the NA region.
This is the first.
Yeah, this might be the first where we don't have a ton.
Not have a ton. And Zor is getting really pressured up here.
Yep. Tag team applied from Wake Me Up, so he might be able to get Fly. And Zor actually lives through this engagement. A nice shard, but Lucent Beam is enough for Arteezy.
Yeah, EG really understands their strength in this lane. They're sacrificing creeps and last hits in order to like harass these 2 heroes out, which means like, you know, it's a future investment for last hits. It's also pushing the lane, so Zora will get some free farm under the tower here, but it does mean that EG, they're winning the regen battle.
Nightfall does get dropped by Shu. Nice job from Felt here. Yeah, talk to me about this matchup. Void Spirit versus Invoker. Invoker, I mean, the Tornado can take off or can dispel the Resonant Pulse shield, but it's not as big of a deal, I feel like, as it is against like an Ember Spirit.
No, I mean, because it doesn't stop the damage from coming out, right? On Ember, it's like you take the shield off and he loses all the damage, so you don't push the wave. With Void Spirit, he's already done it, right? So he just pushes the wave out. I think Void Spirit's perfectly fine laning against Invoker. I've seen a lot of Void Spirit players pick this into Invoker as well, so I think it's a pretty even matchup. You can dodge the mana drain as well with just a dissimulate.
Oh, Arteezy trying to sidestep the shards, but looks like he's just blocked inside, but Fly comes in with a nice shadow wave, and the Quill Spray not quite enough. So Fly's heal ends up saving Arteezy's life, and he takes a salve as well.
And he got his own salve coming too, so that's just kind of an appetizer for the full dish that's coming out on the courier.
Oh, the dish.
Oh, yeah. Like he's only half HP. That's the value of a salve these days, and yet Fly still being the true support as we would expect. Still feeds his carry the salve.
I mean, old habits die hard.
Yeah, otherwise the baby rage will happen.
Yeah, we got the toss back into. Okay, actually the shield. Wow, I can't even think of this skill, but Nightfall is gonna drop, but it's gonna be the trade for Shu. That's probably why I was mixing it up, because his name is Shu. Arteezy inside the shards. Nice kill from Felt. It's going to be reciprocated in the kill onto Wake Me Up, but still major favor for the Felt.
Zor's going for it.
He is. Fly just going to stand his ground with that shallow grave. And Zor will die. Wow, double kill for Fly. You don't see that every day. And you can see the smile on his face. Not used to getting kills.
You can tell Felt is... They're enjoying themselves in this game. They're actually playing very loose. Like, it doesn't seem like they're too bothered by playing against EG right now, which you do often see with a lot of North American teams. In NA, there's a really large focus on laning. So when it comes to laning prowess, I would say that like a lot of these players are playing against each other in pubs constantly. That's basically the only stage of the game that NA players get to play, because after that, somebody goes down mid. So we're very good at laning. And often you see the games pretty even in the laning phase, but the next few minutes will determine whether Felt can match EG in the game rather than just the lanes. Because we see this all the time in NA DPC, where teams look totally fine against the upper echelon teams in laning phase, and all of a sudden things snowball out of control. But as things currently stand, Felt is not doing too bad.
I mean, they're down 2K.
Well, it was 1K when I started talking. It was less than 1K. I don't know what the hell happened. Somebody farmed a stack, I think.
Well, part of it is Solji picked up that haste rune. It was attempting to gank top, but EG kind of read that situation, so it opened up a little bit of farm in the mid lane. But
I mean, Crit's killing couriers. Maybe that's it. This guy's mastering animals.
It certainly helps. Nice oh, I said nice shards, but he's going to have to snowball his way to the other side and Fly. Yeah, he's going to try to deny himself, but Fly. Such an awkward kill.
The Fly gets support the kill. Battle. Yeah.
He is on fire right now. Nightfall taking the Starbreaker, but it's going to be canceled out by that Avalanche. Nice toss as well onto the other side, and Nightfall looks like he'll live with the TP.
It does feel like he's regretting a little bit not going for the Ghost Shroud, just because you can dodge the Starbreaker damage with that. This is like the greedier build. It looks way better to do this when you're ahead, and I mean, as a result of this, he is dying, but he's actually higher net worth than the Weaver.
Yep, Starbreaker again canceled out, this time by the toss. We can see 3 members of the Felt focusing on Crit. They'll find him. Fly TP's on a little bit late. Keep in mind, Fly is 4-0 right now, and you can see his net worth is close to even with the Bristleback on the other side. So having himself a very, very good game. Meanwhile, of course, Arteezy top of the net worth overall.
Yeah, he actually does not want to go down on Fly, even though he's 5 position, which normally you don't really care that much if you run in and die. But at this point, he would be giving a pretty hefty kill streak over to somebody, so he's got to be careful.
Yep, so Shallow Graves will be applied to himself going forward.
They will indeed. And Arteezy trying to pressure Zor top, but even with the bit of a net worth disparity, I say a bit of a, it's 1.5k. Still, Arteezy, yeah, I feel like Bristle is still feeling pretty strong up here. Luna, not exactly the same hero as Bristle at this point. Nice shards, very nice.
Yeah, but can't quite find the angle to follow that up with anything else. And does force RTZ out for the time being, but you can see the rest of EG, or at least a couple of them here, looking to backstab Felt. Don't even want to bother with the Tusk. We're looking for the Bristle, but we can see the mass TPs coming in as the Reaper Scythe. Not quite enough to take out Shu. Nightfall taking a lot of damage from Paradise. Looks like he might be resigned to his death one way or the other, and Shu somehow survives. And they get the tip off. And while this is happening, Arteezy takes the tumble. So Felt all over the map.
Yeah, I mean, this bot lane from Felt doing extremely well, killing Nightfall over and over again. Nightfall keeps farming more net worth and just kind of feeding it back to them. And top, they're behind on the net worth, but applying the pressure. And Soldier makes a nice rotation towards top 2, killing Arteezy, going for a Midas. Does he have a full Vessel heading out?
Wait, who's going on Midas?
Soldier's going for Midas on Invoker. So he went Earn Midas build.
Okay.
Not going to go for the full Vessel this game. Maybe eventually, because he is playing into a Necrophos.
Yes.
And Dazzle, and Tiny, and Luna, who might build a Satanic.
Yeah. I mean, Satanic, you just pop that off, right? But you got to use the Satanic.
Right.
That's a good trade.
It's a great trade.
Dire are scanning.
Still,
right, EG, just only with a 1K lead now. They're kind of sloppy as Arteezy still separating from the pack on the net worth side. So you can see that Felt definitely holding their own right now. Shu gets the Starbreaker off, but it doesn't connect onto Abed thanks to the Dissimulate Fly. This would be... See how much gold they get for this. Tornado. And the last right click. A dominating streak goes the favor of Felt now. Soldier goes invis. Abed dodging the EMP. Chasing out Shu. Gets the Starbreaker. Does go on to Arteezy, but they're completely surrounded now. And this is in their own triangle. As Zor is going to get tossed up back into the creeps, but Crit likely to die here. Does get Death Pulse. The Nightfall has to be careful himself. He's going to get gooed.
He's no Ghost
And
Drought.
the Shards is there as well. That's true. He does not have Ghost Drought at all. Although the Tornado would have taken it off anyway. Gets punched into Oblivion, but the rest of EG have come to play again. Zor finally drops. Solji doesn't have his invis. Still with Cold Snap, though, as Abed's going to continue the chase. As I say that, he backs up and EG resetting.
I
think Abed might have not been entirely aware of what the invis cooldown was for him because he had used it much earlier. So otherwise, maybe Abed would have chased up the high ground because he did have a jump left on Void Spirit. But yeah, just back and forth, fighting on both sides. Arteezy showing up on Luna. He's got a farming build. He's really just showing up for providing the aura to his team as Wake Me Up feeds him kind of a freebie.
Yep.
Sure, Arteezy's very happy about that. He's trying to farm a jungle creep and finds a Tuskar.
Oh, that's a new creep. I didn't know Valve added that one.
That's a weak one.
Solji. See the Dissimulate out. Shield Break. Or I keep calling it Shield Breaker. Why? Starbreaker.
Sounds like
Starbreaker doesn't even make
wow
sense.
ability.
Why
No,
is it
doesn't.
Starbreaker? She's a celestial being.
Yeah, I guess she's a powerful god that destroys stars.
Her hammer is going to destroy a star?
Yeah, right. I mean, the second all of her abilities use the hammer.
Why not Ball Breaker? That feels more in.
Well, Hoodwink already has that nut shot.
Yeah, that's well, it's not exactly the same.
It's pretty similar. You have two similarly themed abilities.
Yeah, but she looks more like a Ball Breaker than anybody, if I have to say.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. Yeah, you got me there.
Zor with the Vanguard. And Fly's going to get... Well, it's actually not going to chase any further. He's expecting somebody to be nearby, but that actually wasn't the case.
And the Grave. He's traumatized from that earlier dive where the Fly Grave came out.
I mean, Fly acting very cocky, but that was kind of a bluff.
It was a bluff. That was a bluff.
He was mega dead.
Yeah, he had some poker
How
face.
much gold did they get? It was like 400 gold for that kill on Fly earlier. Let's see if I can scroll up here.
It was about 400, yeah.
Yeah. I'll trust you on that one.
I looked at it. It was about 400. Which at this point of the game is quite a lot. I mean, it's not like these 1,000 gold kill streaks that you see. Because like the net worth disparity just isn't enough that can even happen realistically. As Crit gets another courier.
Yep, Poison Touch. Onto Shoebreaker. And, oh my god, that's a lot of damage. Dissimulate finishes him off, but that Shadow Wave. Tasty delight.
Yeah, with that Dazzle ult, it does so much more damage. If you could tell the audience what the Dazzle ult does.
It does a lot, actually.
Yeah, it does a lot.
In fact, it does so much that there's no point in even reading out everything.
Yeah, that's right. I say
when
that
they
'cause-
changed that, it's like, I don't know. It made it quite convoluted.
I know,
feel
there's
like.
too many things to the ult. I always have a Dazzle on my team in a pub, and it's like, oh, he's doing a lot. I don't know what he's doing. But it seems like he's doing a lot.
Yeah. I'm sure EG understand how it
Oh,
works.
I'm sure. Yeah, Fly's played a lot of Dota on this patch.
Yeah.
He's just like, please don't pick me Dazzle. Bulma. He's drafting, isn't he, Fly? I think he's back to
Yeah, he
drafting.
should be.
Yeah.
Here's a little trivia for you. What is the old Dazzle ult called?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I don't know.
Radiant's bottom
I'll give you a
tower
clue.
is
You do
under
this in
attack.
traffic when you drive. In and out.
Go through red lights?
Yep, it was called red light, green light.
All right. That really.
It was called weave.
Is that actually true? A weave. I see. Weave.
Red light, green
Well, dude, in Dota 1, they summoned ghouls or something, man. I don't know.
Road rage was a better guess.
Road
job,
rage.
production. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
under attack.
That would
That's
fit.
that's Lifestealer's ability.
Yeah, Lifestealer, when the next buff comes, will be called Road Rage,
Yeah.
I think.
Turns into a race. Gets Pango ult.
So I bet he is invis. In the Paradise, feeling something. Spidey senses tingling.
Yeah.
What's so funny about that?
I just knew the moment that you said tingling that you were gonna go with the Spidey senses, and it came out. So
Oh, why not?
that would be a Spider-Man reference coming out from you.
Yep.
Weaver is a beetle, though.
Yeah, spiders, beetles,
Beetle.
arachnids.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So we're going to see a smoke from EG. Now sporting a 2K lead. Midas is online for Solji, and you can see that he is going to be going for the Spirit Vessel, which is no big surprise. They're kind of hovering around Nightfall, thinking that somebody's going to jump him, but that really doesn't look like it's happening right now.
Who also has the Spirit Vessel,
Yep.
which is good against both sides. Bristle. It's like the hard counter item to him right now. Percentage damage. Invoker, Quas Orbs give you regen. Dawnbreaker, she's a healer. This is a great Vessel game for both sides. I feel like that's every Dota game right now, though. This is a great Vessel game.
Bottom
Yep.
tower is under attack.
We'll see if they end up going for some Lotus Orb action, but of course Zor, no big surprise, going for the Aghanim Scepter as a second item, but he is going to get spotted as Abed a little bit later on the reaction. Aether Remnant with that Spirit Vessel applied, and the Reaper Scythe goodbye.
See, that's another very interesting counter that people have been picking lately, which I think Felt picked Bristle into Void Spirit, if I'm not mistaken, but it doesn't matter. The counter to a Void Spirit versus Bristle is the Aether Remnant just pulls him and faces him towards you.
Yeah, that is true. Solar Guardian coming in. Solji taking a lot of damage, and that Spirit Vessel, you can tell the healing not that impactful from Shu. Ice Shards, though,
Is under attack.
separating the pack. Gets off a Kent crit with the quick fingers. It's going to lead to a kill for Fly. Getting back on his killing streak
Yeah,
soon.
perfect. That's the carry. That's the true carry right there. As Arteezy finally has the levels in Beam, no talent, skip those entirely. So he is actually very strong to show up to these fights now. And he's not just an aura walking around.
Yep, and he's only a recipe away from the BKB, as we see Abed just going to finish off Solji, it looks like. So
Kill.
And he's attempting to TP out, but it is canceled, so this is going to cost him his life.
Probably still worth it for a solo kill on the enemy mid.
And it buys time to get Roche as well, it looks like.
Yeah, I think that's... I mean, they feel good about killing Abed because they just lost a fight, but...
But Zor has an idea that this is happening, so EG stepping outside the pit. The Eclipse just deletes Paradise, and a lot of residual damage now onto Wake Me Up with that Lucent Beam. Double kill Arteezy, and they can just go casually back into the pit because nothing was really lost.
That is one... like, there's a lot of combos that you used to not be able to do with Tiny that you can do now. Like Tiny Sky, Tiny Luna ults. Like, these things wouldn't work because you had to both Ava and toss at the same time to get the perma-stun. But now, you can just Ava and then slowly toss afterwards, and it's so much stun duration that if you have another source of damage, it enables you to do those combos like Tiny Lesh, Tiny Sky, like I mentioned.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a very strong hero because of how Avalanche works right now. You just use it to set up your toss, and somebody else is the damage dealer.
And Aegis now for Arteezy, which I would expect, especially with that BKB coming soon, that they'll just kind of ramp things up and go for the good old-fashioned push. Got the Blink Dagger on crit, and And what's on Abed right now? He has the Witchblade, is still working on the Ags for himself. It's still 2k away, so not super close. And on the other side, Felt still on the Invoker, the Midas, Spirit Vessel, so no real progression. And the Ags is a real power spike, obviously, for Bristle, which is still 500 away. So perhaps trying to dodge stuff until that point comes.
The annoying thing about playing this Bristle Ags into Necro, though, is that like Necro inherently wants to play long fights, especially against a hero like Bristleback, who has so much HP and damage reduction that you can just tear through. But Bristle Ags makes it so that you want to play long fights on Bristle too. So you're kind of playing it exactly how Necro wants to play against you, which is why Necro is such a strong counter compared to something like Death Prophet. It still wants to play long fights, but probably not as much as a Necro would like to. Because like if you go longer than the Death Prophet ulti, obviously you don't want to play that long of a fight.
It looks like this tier 2 tower is going to get conceded for Felt, as EG is starting to mount this lead, build upon it. RTZ queuing up a Satanic, and I was going to say there's nothing really stopping them from at least poking the high ground. This is going to force out some sort of a defense from Felt, as the Aghanim Scepter now online, so I think that is likely the go time for Felt, although they're still working on the BKB for the Weaver, but he's still basically a recipe away from finishing that, so I'm not sure if they can wait any longer.
Yeah, I don't know how much Zor wants to walk up this high ground, because he can get tossed in and Ether Remnanted. Yeah,
there's the Avatos back in. You can see the Death Seekers coming in as well. Not able to get the Aether Remnant to connect, but like you said, very strong counter, especially with the Reaper Scythe to follow it up. So pretty close to finding that kill for themselves, but EG, you know, they're not really risking anything. They have complete control of the map right now. And they're going to focus on the outer tower still, so tier 2 mid is next. Oh, another Avalanche, toss back, Eclipse to follow, goodbye. Reaper Scythe not really needed, but hey, that's regen.
Yeah, this is not really one of those immortal Bristleback games that you see where there's no counter to him. There's plenty that can kill him, and maybe a BKB was warranted in this game instead of the Aghanim Scepter just because of exactly what we saw here. The toss back into complete isolation. He's not even facing the wrong direction. He's fine. It's just so much damage that they tear through the damage reduction. So yeah, it's a tough Bristleback game for sure.
That's only one tier 2 remaining in the bot lane.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Of course, there's only one tier 2 tower in the bot lane, so
That would make sense, yeah. If there were two, we'd have the Roshan situation all over again.
well, that would be cool.
China DPC.
What if you could spend 10,000 gold and just get another tower? So you can just put a second tower somewhere.
That goes back to the Bob the Builder hero that I had proposed.
Bob the Builder.
Yeah, I think the hero should be able to build bridges and maybe be able to build towers for an amount of gold. That's a good
toss back
skill.
again. They don't have Reaper Scythe this time, but the Spirit Vessel applied. And, okay, they're going to get the Tusk Snowball. Not going to get the full heal out from Shu. But still, lots of damage being applied as RTZ has to pop that BKB. Aether Remnant helps him get the kill onto the Tusk. So that's the first kill in this engagement. And Paradise focusing on Fly, but he's going to Grave TP as Nightfall gets off the Death Seeker. You can see the Bristleback getting quite low, but should survive. Either way, EG will just continue to push. Aegis, another 30 seconds. As Crit hitting this in slow motion. And this is where Luna really takes off.
Yep. Yeah, that mid-rax just bouncing between both of them. It's like the max possible damage you can do between two buildings, obviously.
Yep, and that's, what'd you say, the max damage?
Let's just ignore that.
Can you explain your joke?
Well, it's not a joke.
Can you explain
There's
it?
no joke. It was just stupid.
Okay. Oh, Eclipse.
Oh, my
okay. A lot of it mitigated. Oh my god, the
never
toss
mind.
back.
What?
I thought that was a great snowball, and it was, as this game might just end right now. EG pick up 3 kills right after taking Rax, and Arteezy, nothing's going to stop him from going at the very least to get that second Rax in the top lane. As we're going to see the replay. So you can see the Eclipse immediately, but the snowball mitigating a lot, but you can see the great toss back in.
Yeah, Crit's like, don't worry, Bubby, I got you. I'm gonna make you look less stupid for that Eclipse. And yeah, just slow and steady from EG. I mean, they just, from, I don't know, 5 or 7 minutes. How long has it been? It feels like a long time, but I don't think it's been that long. They've just been running down every building and tossing people in. Like, there's just no timing coming out from Felt that actually allows them to fight.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's an EG lineup thing. Like, obviously, EG is playing this very well, especially given the item timings that they're seeing on the enemy side. I think it's probably one of those things where if you're Felt and you're going back to this replay, you say, okay, we needed an earlier Bristle BKB, because he clearly cannot fight without it, and maybe an earlier Invoker BKB, because EG is just pushing their advantage while no heroes have BKB other than Weaver, and he's getting deleted in a single toss.
No. Yeah, not looking good. Felt, in terms of just games alone, are 0-10, so the goose egg grows, unfortunately for them, as they are, if all things continue the way that they're going, are destined for Div 2 next season.
My take on this team was that I didn't expect them to have such a bad scoreline. I expected them to possibly get relegated. Oh,
we got the toss back. Tusk is dead. I mean, you played them, Arkosh played them, right?
Yeah.
Last season?
Yes.
How much of the same roster is still?
I think they're missing a few of their, I think it's like 2 or 3.
Okay.
But the players that they got, I thought were very good pub players, at least. It's one of those things where, like, it seems like there's not gelling together.
Eclipse tossed back, and Reaper Scythe. Solar Guardian's not going to be nearly enough healing, as EG looking to finish this game off in commanding fashion. Shu is dead. Double kill for Nightfall. The silence from the Resonant Pulse on Abed. Heroes are just falling left, right, and center as GG is called finally. This was a good old-fashioned shellacking.
This was a shoelacking.
This was a shoelacking. Is that a new thing on the tier list?
Yes, it is.
No more.
No, we can't add to that thing. There's no way. It's already...
So EG take game 1 very easily. I mean, I thought...